Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
just
is.
forgot. I just forgot.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now tell me, what will be printed here?
Entire array.
Entire array. Meaning is that it will print 1, comma, okay,
2, 3,
2, comma, 3, comma.
3,
Okay. Now what will be printed here?
4.
4 will be printed because the length of an array is 4. Okay. Now what I am doing here?
Adding 10 to the array.
10.
I am pushing one element into the array. Am I correct? So this 10 will be added to this array. Now what will be printed at line number 48?
1,
Okay.
2, 3, 10.
3, why 10? You're just
We're
adding
adding
one element.
3, 4, 10.
4, 10.
Yeah. Now what I am doing here?
Adding 12.
Adding an
Adding
extra element.
12. Now what will be printed at line number 52?
12 will
1,
be there at 10 after 10.
1, 2, 3,
1, 2,
4,
3, 4,
10,
10,
and 12.
12.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if you want to remove one element in the array, we use one method called pop. Okay. And this basically removes the last element in the array. Okay. Got it? It basically removes the last element in the array. Now, let me just do a dot pop. Okay. What is the meaning of what, for what purpose we are using pop?
To delete one.
To remove one
To remove
element.
one element in the array. Now, imagine I am doing the pop for this A array, right? Which means that in A array, remove the last element. Now, if I do a console.log of A, now what will be printed?
12 will not print it.
Yes, it will print 1, 2, 3,
1, 2,
4,
3,
and
4.
10.
okay. 2, which is the last element here? 12 is the last element here, and it will be removed. Okay. Let me just reload it. Any doubts, anyone?
No, no, sir.
Okay. This is the push and pop. Okay. And suppose I have one string. Okay. Let name equal to Anusha. Okay. Suppose I want to reverse this. Let me give an example of one number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose if I want to reverse it, what is the reversed number of 1, 2, 3, 4?
4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1. So they will ask like this. We need to write one function to convert this number to reverse number. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to think. There is one function called split. Okay. Which is basically used on strings. Okay. And this is used to convert a string to an array. Okay. What is the use of split function? It's basically used on a string and used to convert the strings to an array. Okay. For example, let num, okay, equal to, I'll give a string. How to give a string? Anything with quotations is called as a
String.
correct. Suppose if I want to convert it to an array, okay, now it will be like 1, 2, okay, 3. If I want to convert something like this, we need the function split, okay. We'll just give let ans equal to num dot split, okay. Splitting on what basis we need to split. Okay, if we want to split the entire element into individual elements, okay, you will just give empty quotations so that it will give exactly like this 1 2 3. Okay, let me just do it. Console.log of ANS. You are able to see, right? It has splitted the string into an array 1 2 3. Okay, suppose if you want to split based on 2, okay, let me just show you here. So before 2 it will be an a of 0, and after 2 whatever content is there, it will be splitted into 2 parts. Okay, let me just reload it and show you. You can see before 2, split this number based on 2, which means that whatever content is before 2 will be a of 0, and whatever content after 2 will be a of 1. Understood? We are splitting basically into parts. Okay. Any doubts? Suppose if it is 3, now what does this split function will print? What this ANS will print?
2.
No. Wait, Vishal. What is there in the number?
1 2 3 4.
1 2 3 4.
String.
On, yeah. And what basis we are splitting? On what basis we are splitting this number? What is given here?
2.
2. So on the basis of 2, we are splitting this number. Okay. Now, whenever we are, other than empty quotes, whenever we are using these single quotations, right, it will split the number into 2 parts. Before 2, whatever number is there, it will be a of 0. And after 2, whatever number is there, it will be a of 1. Okay. Now, what will be printed in the ANS?
1 2 and 3 4.
No. What I said, splitting based on that number. Okay. That number will not come even.
Okay, 1 3 and 4 will come.
1, you need to say like in ANS, suppose if it's ANS, in 0th position, what will be printed? It's an array.
1.
It's an array, right? Split function is used to convert a string to an array. Am I correct? Now,
Yeah.
whenever you are using split based on a number, it will split into array. And it will store basically into 2 parts. Okay. One is 0 part and one is 1 part. Now, what will be stored in the 1? ANS of 0?
1.
1. Now, what will be stored on 1th position?
3 and 4.
3.
3. Okay. Let me just
3
save it and run it. Understood? Any doubts? Before 2, whatever number is there, it will be stored in a of 0. And whatever number is there after 2 will be stored in a of 1. Any doubt?
No, Anusha, got it.
Now tell me what will be the ANS value. So I have added extra 4 here, and I'm splitting this string into an array using 2. Now what will be printed here?
1 4.
0.
Yeah, 1 and 4. Then
3 and 4.
3 and 4.
3, 4. Okay. Any doubt? Let me just split based on 3. Okay. Now what will be printed in a of 0 and in a of 1?
A of 0, 1 4 2.
Okay. And
One
in
is
a of 1?
4.
4.
4.
Now you can just check. No doubts, right, in the split function? Yeah. So this split function is basically used for converting a string to an array. Okay. Now what we have given here, is this a string or a number?
Number.
Then what is the type of this?
String.
String.
Suppose if we want to split this 1, 2, 3, 4 to an array, what we can do?
Yeah, how to add strings?
We have to.
Add strings.
I didn't get you, Dinesh. Add strings, you said. We cannot
Yes.
add explicitly, but we need to use some function which will convert and
Split.
convert that. Okay. I forgot to tell you one more thing. There is one function called join. Okay. Join, which is used to join array to an string. Okay. It is used to join an array elements to string. Suppose if we have like this, right? 1, 2, 3. Now, if we use one function called join, then it will be stored as a string 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me just show you. Now you are seeing, right? Now what will be printed in the ANS? Now what will be printed in the ANS?
Three, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3 array will be printed. Am I correct? Because you have given single quotation, it will divide the each element in the array. Now, if you use one function called join, okay, join based on empty string, it will convert this entire array to an again to this string. Now, what will be printed in the ANS? What happened, it is taking the number, it has splitted into an array, then we have again joined the array back to the string. Now what will be stored in ANS?
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Now, since I have given empty string, right? It has joined this function with the empty string. Suppose if I give star, then what will happen, it will join based on the stars. Okay. 1 star, 2 star, 3, like that in between. Suppose if I give plus, okay, it will join based on plus. It will be 1 plus 2 plus 3. Just it is used for joining. So 1, 2, 3 we have splitted, right? Suppose if we have split based on 2, okay. Now what will be printed in ANS generally? What will be printed in the ANS?
NS 0 is equal to 1.
Okay. ANS of 1 equal to
3.
3. Now,
3.
we use the join function based on star. It will be 1 star 3. Okay. Join these two numbers. Okay. How ANS will be there? It will be like this, right? 1, comma 3. Am I correct? So if we are joining this now, it will be like 1 star 3. Join the elements. Whenever it is combining two elements, it will add 1 star. So instead of 2, we are joining based on star. Okay. Let me just remove it and show you. 1 star 3. Suppose if I say join on basis of 2. Now what will be printed? So first you need to check what it will be printed. Till now. What is the meaning of this line?
That means at zeroth position it is going to be 1, and at first it is going to be 3.
3. Now what we said, we need to join these elements based on 2. Now what will be the output?
1, 2, 3.
Correct. So it will combine these two elements in between this join, whatever value is there, na, it will join. 1, 2, 3. Split is based on what element, and join is based on what element. That's it. Nothing other than that. Understood, right? Shall I repeat it once more?
Anusha, it would be great if you can repeat it from the number one, like from this place.
Number 2.
Converting it.
Array.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will do that.
yeah.
But you
Thank
just
you.
understood this concept, right?
Yes, completely.
Yeah. Suppose if you want to reverse a number, see, we can, if converting something to a number, you should always remember the split function. Okay. And you know that split function is basically used only on strings. We cannot use it on the numbers. Suppose if you want to use it on number, then what you should do? You should convert this number to first to the string and then split it. Okay. And then reverse the numbers and then join the numbers and then convert it to again a number. Okay. Let me just tell you. Let result. Okay. First, it's a number, right? Now, what we need to do? We need to convert this name to first a string. Okay. That you can do by using toString method. Okay, we have one method called toString, which is used for converting anything to a string. Okay, let me just do console.log of res. Okay, and if you want, I will even give you the type of res. Okay, let me just save it. Now you can see, right? We have given a number, but we have converted to a string. Any doubt? We are given a number and we have converted to a string.
No doubt, Anusha.
Oh,
But
okay. Now, what I said, we need to apply the split function. Okay. Now, in this case, we need to divide the entire elements. In this case, we will give just empty space and we are splitting this. Okay. Now you can see the result. It will be an 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I said to reverse the reverse an array, right? We have one method called reverse, which will reverse an array. Okay. This you need to say, you can see reverse the elements. You can see the definition of the reverse function here. Reverse the elements in an array in place. Okay. Got it? So if I just print it, before it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now you can see it's 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now what you have got the required result, okay, in the reversed position. Now what you need to know, you need to join the array. Am I correct? You need to join on basis of what? Empty string. Now what you will get? 4, 3, 2, 1. Any doubts? You have
no, Anusha.
first
Got it.
a number. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just by using toString method, you can convert this number to a string and then you can again split it. You have the reverse function which will reverse the values in an array, and you will use the join function to just join the values in an array and you can get the desired result. Okay, that is how you will be doing it. And let me talk about the traditional for loop. Okay. this for loop we will use a very less in our day-to-day life, because we have inbuilt methods which will print the values of an array. But if we understand the traditional for loop, then only we can understand any loops. Okay, for loop is basically used for accessing the array elements. Accessing array elements or looping. If you want to iterate over the elements of an array, or if you want to access the array elements, then we will use this traditional for loop. Okay. Now let me tell you how the for loop will look like. For loop will starts with for, and we have these braces, and we have some curly braces. Okay. What is this? This is nothing but a declaration. Am I correct? This is nothing but a block. Okay. In this for loop, we will give three conditions. Okay. We'll have three expressions basically. So one is the variable assignment. Okay. Where I equal to 0, which means I'll tell you, where I less than or equal to 5, then I plus plus. Basically, if we want to iterate over the array elements, okay, what is the default index of an array? With what index it will start an array?
0.
So that 0 you are initializing it here, where I equal to 0. Okay, and this 5 indicates just a condition. Okay, I less than or equal to 5 will be just a condition. Then I plus plus. Let me just tell you. Let us take one array num. Okay, let me just comment this out. And 10. Okay. Now, if I just do console.log of a of I. Okay. Okay. Now, the loop will start like this. First, where I equal to 0 is there. What is the meaning of this statement? Kavya?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the meaning of this where I equal to 0?
The value of I. 0 is the value of I variable.
Correct. 0 value is assigned for the variable I. Am I correct? What is this equal to? Assignment operator. Am I correct? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then
Yeah,
let's check this condition. Okay. I less than or 0 is less than or equal to 5 or not. 0 less than or equal to I, right? I less than or equal to 5. What is the current value of I? It will be 0, right? Firstly. So 0 less than or equal to 5. Is it true or false?
true, Anusha.
True. Since it's true, it will enter this inside block. Okay. And what we are doing console.log of a of I. Okay. What is the I value currently?
Greater than 0 is equal to 5.
0. Correct. Now it is just doing console.log of a of 0 value. What is the a of 0 value?
4.
4. Now what will happen? 4 will be printed. Okay. Then what it will do? I plus plus meaning is that I equal to I plus 1. That is the meaning of I plus plus. Okay. Now we have incremented the value of I. What is the previous value? I is 0. 0 plus 1. What is the current value of I?
4.
Why 4? What I said, I plus plus. I equal to I plus 1. I equal to 0
1.
plus 1. What is the current value? 1. Okay.
1.
Now it is, these are basically actually indexes. Okay, these I values. We are just checking some condition and we are iterating over the array. Okay. Now 1 less than or equal to 5. Is it true or false?
True.
True.
Yeah, true.
Now what will happen? It will enter this block and it will print this line. What is I value currently? 1, right? What is the A of 1 value? What is the A of 1 value?
6.
Where I should go now. Okay. What is A of 1 value? 6. Now what will happen? Again, I will be incremented. Now what will be the value of I?
2.
2. Okay. Now we will check this condition. 2 less than or equal to 5.
Yes.
Now what will happen? We will print this. What is num of 2? What is there in the num of 2?
8.
8.
8. 8 will be printed. Okay. Suppose let me give a condition here 3 or 2 only. Okay. Now what will be the I value? It's previously it's 2, right? Now what will be the I value?
3.
3. Okay. Because I equal to I plus 1, which is 2 plus 1, it will become 3. Now 3 less than or equal to 2? 2. Is it true or
False.
Yeah.
false? Now what will happen? It will for loop will get finished. Its
Stop.
execution is finished and it stopped. Okay. Now you can just check the values here. See 4, 6, 8. Any doubts? Any doubts in the
No,
for
no.
loop execution? No, right?
No.
This is the traditional for loop which is used for accessing the each elements in the array. Okay, we are basically just giving the indexes and we are accessing the values of an array. Now, let me talk about functions in the JavaScript. Okay, a function is always defined with a keyword, contains a keyword function before it, and we should have always the name for the function. Okay, for example, sum. Okay, and what or print some data. Okay, this is called as function name, and a function should always contain a block which will print some data in that or which will do some logic in that. Okay. So this is known as function declaration. Okay. Function declaration means giving the function keyword, giving the name of the function and some braces and some functionality of this function. This is known as function declaration. Suppose if we execute this code, okay, this function will not be executed. Okay. Are you seeing any console printed, print some data function? Anything here like that?
No, Anusha.
In order to invoke this function, what we need to do, we need to use the function name and these two braces. Then this function will start executing. Okay. This is known as function invocation. This statement is known as function invocation. We are invoking the function to get executed. This is known as function declaration. And this is also known as function statement or function declaration. Any doubt? So if you just print it, you are able to see, right? Print some data. Any doubt, anyone? Now let me tell you about the execution context with some example. Okay. How it will be stored in execution context, I will tell you. Now what I said, even before a single line of code got executed, what will happen? An execution context will be created whenever any JavaScript file is running. Am I correct?
Yes.
This
Yes.
execution context has two phases. What are they?
Memory phase.
Memory phase and code of execution.
Code of
Okay.
execution.
Whenever, even before a single line of this code got executed, right? Whatever variables were there, okay, let me just remove all of this. Okay, even before a single line of code is executed, it will allocate memory space for all the variables and functions. Okay, now what are the variables in this file? I have commented just all the code previously. Now what are the variables here in this? What are the variables in this file?
A.
A. Okay, it will allocate memory space for A. And what is the default value for this A?
Undefined.
Undefined. Okay, now whenever, are there any functions in this file?
No.
Functions. What is this?
Function.
Then what is this? There are functions in this file, right? A function will always starts with a function keyword. Okay. What is the function name here?
Print some data.
Print some data is the function name. Okay. Now what will happen? It will create print some data as a key. Okay. And the entire function will get saved here. The entire function, that block of code is there, right? That entire function will get saved here. Okay. Now what happens? The line by line, the code of execution phase will be starts beginning. Is there any other function other than this print some data in this file?
No.
No. Now what will happen? We have allocated memory for variables and we have allocated memory for functions as well. Now what will happen? The code of execution phase will be there. Now what is the first line here? Where A equal to 10. Okay. Where A equal to 10 line will get executed and this undefined will get replaced with 10. Am I correct? Now it will just come to this line number 97 to 98. It is just a function declaration. It will not do anything. Okay. Now what will happen? It will reach to 101 and it saw there is some function invocation. Okay. Whenever any function is invoked, it will create a new execution context. It will create a new execution context. Okay. Execution context 2. Okay. And are there any variables in that function? Whenever any execution context happens, what will happen? We will check variables and functions. Okay. In this function, are there any variables?
No.
No. Are there any functions inside this function?
No.
No. So nothing will be present in the memory space. Okay. Now we will come to the code of execution phase. and this single line printing some data in the console log is there, and it will print this data in the console log. And as soon as it's finished coding, right, this execution context will be destroyed. And after line number 101, does there any statements after 101? Are there any piece of code after line number 101?
No.
No. So what will happen? This execution context also get destroyed. Okay, this is how the JavaScript works. Okay, and let me talk to you about tell you about stack. Okay, what is stack means? It's a data structure which is used for storing some data. Okay, it will look like this. Stack means it will look like this. Okay, it is closed at one end. Suppose if I want to push some value, okay, suppose if I'm pushing the value 2, it will be stored here. Okay, suppose if I want to push some value, it will be stored here. Suppose if I want to push some value, I should push it here. Suppose if I want to remove the value 3, then what should I do? First I need to remove this element, then only I can remove the value 3. Okay, it is opened only at one end. The first pushed value is the last popped value. Are you getting it? The first in element will the last out value. Okay, we can take it only layer by layer. Understood? Any doubt?
No, understand.
Okay. Now let me tell you, whenever any execution context is created, there will be one stack in this JavaScript browser. Okay, it is called as call stack. Okay, and whenever we create any execution context, right, it will be pushed to the stack. And suppose if any invocation again happened, what will happen? That second execution context also will be pushed into the stack. Once this execution context has finished executing, then it will be popped out of the stack, then it will be popped out of the stack, and the stack will be empty, which means that no more code is present to execute. Okay, let me just show it to you in live example. Let me keep a debugger. Okay, then you will understand. You can see something called call stack here, right? Are you able to see?
Yes.
Yeah, right now it's empty. Am I correct?
Yes.
Now let me execute. Okay, I have kept the debugger. Okay. Now let me execute. You can see something called anonymous got pushed to this call stack. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now this anonymous is the execution context one. Okay. Now let me go step by step and show you the execution 2 as well. Okay. Now I'll go inside. Now you can see here, A's initial value is undefined, right? Now after this line got executed, undefined will be replaced with 10. Okay. You can check it here. A will be assigned with the value 10. Now what will happen? It came to these lines and it checked just a declaration. Then it will go to line number 103, and this is function invocation. Whenever any function is invoked, again a new execution context will be created. You can see, right? So one more execution context got pushed into the call stack. Am I correct? So the name of the execution context here will be print some data. Okay, as soon as this has finished, right, this print some data will be removed from this call stack, will be popped from this call stack. And after line number 103, if the entire function has completed executing, then nothing will be present in this call stack. Okay, let me just go one step beyond. Okay, then one more step. Okay, you can see print some data has been popped out, right? Am I right? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Done,
Now
Vishal.
let me go to next line. You can see call stack is empty. This is how the JavaScript environment works. Any doubts, anyone? Or if you want me to repeat it, I'll repeat it again.
No, Anisha.
Oh. That's it for today's class. I will even upload this recording in 10 minutes. Okay. Go through it once and be prepared for tomorrow's class and come back. I will ask some questions. Meanwhile, if you want some recap, I can do that. How will you tell that this is what is an array?
Collection of similar kind of data.
Collection of the data. Okay. And an array usually starts with
0.
no, it's look for looks wise, it starts with square.
Braces. That's
Okay. The index of the array starts with
0.
0.
if you want to find out the length of an array,
A dot length.
array dot length. If you want to push some value into an array at the last of the array,
Array dot push.
push of value. If you want to remove the last element in the array,
Pop.
pop the element. Which function is used for converting to an array? Which function is used for converting to an array? What is split function?
Used for converting the
What on which type of data type we can apply the split function?
strings.
String.
Strings. Okay. Which function is used for joining the array elements?
Join.
Join function is used. Okay. And how will the traditional for loop will look like? Traditional for loop.
For with condition.
Okay. First the initialization, then first the initialization part, then the condition, then the incrementing the index of an array, and the statement for executing the for loop. Okay.
Yeah.
How will you tell it's a function? How will you tell this piece of code is a function?
Because function can.
It contains the keyword function, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this entire statement? What is this entire 99 to 101 is called as?
Declaration.
Function declaration
Function.
or function declaration or function statement, right?
Yeah.
How will you invoke a function? How will you invoke a function?
We will type the function name after declaration.
Okay. And the braces, am I correct?
Braces,
Function
of
name
course.
with braces is known as function invocation. That's it for today's class. Okay. Please watch the video and come back tomorrow. I'll ask more doubts. If you are understanding this basic, then only we will be able to go to the further classes. Otherwise it will be waste. Okay.
Okay,
Bye
Anisha.
everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.